Gaels in their home opener cleared their bench as they routed Sheehan of Wallingford 50-0 in a Housatonic League mismatch. The Gaels defense itself scored 14 points, and like the 1987 unit, continually gave the offense excellent field position to operate from. Running back Steve Kalovich and John Kearns keyed Shelton offensively. From Finn Stadium in Shelton, it's Ansonia against Shelton in an important intra-valley matchup on Valley Cablevision's high school football game of the week. Hello again, everyone. Ed Clements along with Buddy Turnovitz from Finn Stadium in Shelton. Buddy, Shelton-Ansonia, normally a big game, but I think this year takes on even more importance.
They certainly are two quality football teams, and I think for both of them, they want to get off to a good start. One team is going to walk out of here 2-0. Although it's not a league game, it certainly is a big inter-valley game for them.
Now, when I asked Coach Branca during the week what was the key to today's game, he didn't hesitate at all. He said defense.
Both teams had the ability last week to move the football. Sheehan was not a true test for Shelton. I think the truer test was the Holy Cross football team for Ansonia, but both teams had pretty much easy win. They come into this football game with the ability to move the ball. I think a key is going to be the ability to throw for both teams.
Now, I think it's going to be interesting, Buddy, to see how the Shelton running backs, and they have 4 fine running backs, how they handle that big front 5 of Ansonia.
Coach Hunt calls them a college or pro defensive group. They are certainly big across the front. The ability to get off the ball and to get into those people for Shelton is certainly going to be a key to this game.
All right, you've been a coach for a long time now. What do you see as the key to today's game?
Well, I think one of the keys is the ability of both teams to throw the ball. I think more for Shelton, they've got to be able to put the ball up to balance their offense. Ansonia has to be able to run the ball to balance, and those are going to be the keys. Also, injuries will be an important part of this game, and I think the wind will play a role here, too. Field position. It's never a high-scoring football game. One big play can be the difference.
And it is windy here at Finn Stadium, and we have overcast skies, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff between Shelton and Ansonia right after these messages. An overcast day, a little bit of a wind out there, but an ideal day for high school football. This is the first weekend of the fall season, and our second game, the Valley Cablevision's high school football game of the week. Shelton has won the opening coin toss, and they have elected to receive. Both teams coming off impressive opening season wins. Ansonia beating Holy Cross of Waterbury 28-0, and Shelton right here at Finn Stadium handling Sheehan rather easily by a score of 50-0. It'll be Kinnebrew, Chris Kinnebrew, kicking off for Ansonia. Back deep for Shelton: Dykes, Subkaski, and Neil Taylor. Kick goes to Subkaski at the 20-yard line. And Subkaski is finally driven out of bounds across his 35-yard line. Let's take a look now at that Shelton Gaels offense. First and 10 for the Shelton Gaels. Football marked at their 37-yard line in this non-league battle between these traditional rivals in the Valley. Wishbone, Gaels open up in. Quarterback is the senior, Keith White. White rolls. Fumble on the play. Loose ball. Ansonia has recovered at the 40-yard line of Shelton. Kevin Sharkey recovering the loose ball.
Eddie, they've gone away from what they were very successful last week at doing into the wishbone, which I think they tried to catch the Ansonia football team with. White, as he came around the corner, did not really have a hold of the football, lost it, and it's a big turnover very early.
Well, we're going to set that Ansonia offense while we get a chance in a moment. First down, it's Keith Kolakowski, and going nowhere. The Ansonia runner tackled in the backfield for a loss of 1 on the play. Gracia on the tackle for Shelton.
Attempt to run off tackle on a power here, and he's drilled by Aurelio Gracia before he even got to the line of scrimmage. Gracia on a stunt inside, a loss of about half a yard for Ansonia in their first offensive possession here in this first quarter.
Quickly, let's take a look at that Ansonia offense. Second and 11 for Ansonia on the Shelton 42 after the Shelton turnover. That's Sharkey in motion. And Pelotowski, left-handed quarterback, throwing an incompleted pass intended for the flanker Sharkey. Flags dropped on the play, and let's await the official's call. And while we do await the official's call, let's take a look at that Shelton Gaels defense.
Eddie Pelotowski had an open receiver there because Shelton or Ansonia is not setting their offense before the motion man comes across, and that is going to be a problem for them unless they sit D'Onofrio for a second before he comes across the line of scrimmage.
So with the declining of the penalty by the Gaels, it is a 3rd and 10.5 for Ansonia. Ball at the 42, Shelton. Gaels took the opening kickoff. The White fumbled on the Gaels' first play from scrimmage. Ansonia now with the 3rd and 10. Passing formation, I formation. Fiducia is the up back, and Henricks is the I back. And Pelotowski throwing and completing it to D'Onofrio, but only a pickup of about a few on the play down to the 39-yard line. Great coverage by the Gaels.
Pelotowski will throw the outside route. You see them in the slot to the outside. D'Onofrio just turns the outside receiver to the sideline. Great catcher, and then he tries to get back away. Anderson drives in, pulls him down, prevents really any big gain for him, brings up a 4th down, and Ansonia's going to punt the football.
And that saves D'Onofrio back to punt the football for Ansonia, standing at his 47-yard line. Ansonia unable to move their first offensive possession. High punt by D'Onofrio. Fair catch called for by Dyke at the 10, and the Gaels will take over at that point. Earlier, Buddy had a chance to talk to Shelton coach Tony Branca, and he asked Coach Branca what he felt the key to this game would be.
Well, one of the things that we tried working on after we saw last week's game was that our defense needed a lot of work. In Shelton, we have a high expectation for our defenses, and we didn't quite play up to it last week, so we spent a lot of time on defense this week, and we feel that that's going to be the key to the game today. Ansonia always has a great offensive team, and in order for us to be in the game today, we have to play good defense.
Coach, best of luck. We appreciate you stopping by, and we'll hope to see you after the game.
Thank you, buddy.
Welcome back, everyone. Shelton Gaels, their second possession of the day. Football marked at their 11 after the D'Onofrio punt. Sun trying to make its first appearance here at Twin Stadium. Wishbone for the Gaels. There's a give to Calavage. Calavage running out of the left halfback spot. Crosses the 15 to about the 16-yard line. We never did have a chance to set that Ansonia defense, and let us do it right now. Let's set that Ansonia defense. Second and 5 for the Gaels just across their 16-yard line. Early on in the first quarter here at Twin Stadium. Wishbone for the Gaels. That's the give to Sapkowski running out of the right halfback spot. Sapkowski appears to have picked up the first down as he crossed the 20-yard line. Chuck Sapkowski.
Eddie, they're running that power out of the wishbone, and they're coming right at Ansonia. See, 2 lead backs, Sapkowski getting the ball. Excellent hold there as he drags across the 20 to about the 22-yard line for the initial first down in this football game for Shelton. Power football we saw last week coming out of the eye, just knocking people off the line of scrimmage. They're doing it today in the wishbone.
So the Gaels have the game's first down. Just outside their 20-yard line, running out of the wishbone. Surprise distortive. He's wide on the option, running the football close to the 25-yard line. Finally stopped by the defensive end on that side, F.J. Burkowski.
The fact that Shelton is running that wishbone is an indication that they're going to keep this game close to the vest. They're going to just power the football. Try not to make any mistakes offensively and just to hold on to that ball.
Second down, wishbone for the Gaels. Second and 8. White on the option, near side. That's Sapkowski with the pitch out, and Sapkowski crosses the 25 up to about the 28-yard line, hemmed in there by a few of the Chargers, led by Sharkey and Pelotowski.
Watch Keith White as he comes down the line of scrimmage. Now, he's going to get drilled, but will release the ball outside to Sikorsky. Right here, the inside linebacker gets a piece, and he does a great job holding on to the ball for the last second. You see the stalk block on the outside. Excellent job by Matt Miller. Close to the first down, or about 3 yards short of that first down, bringing up a big third down play for them.
A big third down indeed. 3rd and 4. Line of scrimmage to 28. The Gaels keeping it on the ground thus far. Kalavich out of the left halfback spot. Kalavich picks up the first down as he crosses the 35-yard line. Captain Steve Kalavich. Mungado from his linebacker spot, one of the Ansonia young men in on the tackle.
And there you go into the Shelton huddle. That time Keith White handing the ball off to Kalavich on the power. Excellent blocking on that right side. Another big first down for the Shelton Gaels in their second possession of the football game.
First down for the Gaels. White wants to throw, swings it out to the near sideline, overthrows Kalavich, and Kalavich had some room out there.
Kalavich was swinging out of the backfield, and the ball was definitely overthrown. The closest receiver was standing on the bench on that one. Keith White got the ball up a little bit too high. An attempt to just try and get a little bit of a swing pass outside to that outside halfback in the wishbone. Unable to do so.
So it's a 2nd and 10 for the Gaels. Football at their 36. First quarter action from here at Penn Stadium. White on the option, pitches out a loose football, and Sikorsky wisely and alertly falls on the ball at the 20-yard line. And Coughlin and Stallings joined the party.
That time you'll see the inside, the end came on a crash right here. Watch the end come right now, and White forced to pitch the ball, throws it behind Sikorsky, and a big loss. Great job defensively for Ansonia. That time they came with pressure and forced White into the missed turnover.
And let's see what the Gaels do on 3rd and long. Football marked at their 20-yard line. Have to get it to their 46 for the first down. White on a scramble. Looking to throw.
Intercepted.
Intercepted.
Yes.
Dave D'Onofrio picks it off on the 3rd down play. So the Chargers, the second time in the ball game, have excellent field position.
Watch Keith White get flushed out of the pocket right here. He tries to come up inside now, and he just throws the ball very poorly right here as D'Onofrio makes a great interception, but missed the receiver, and D'Onofrio now with a turnover on the 30-yard line. Second big turnover for Ansonia here in this first period. We said earlier that one of the keys would be the ability of Shelton to throw that football, and they are not doing very well when they put it in the air.
Ansonia in the wishbone. Pelotowski wants to throw on first down. Incomplete. Out of the wishbone, Keith Pelotowski throwing. Scoreless game in the middle of this first quarter. Let's take this timeout. 2nd and 10 for Ansonia, deep in Shelton territory. Pelotowski, a delay draw to Hendricks. Hendricks gets about 4 on the play down to the 26-yard line.
Tackled by number 74 for Gaels. Paul Ozak, about 5 yards. Third about 5 for Ansonia on the Shelton 25.
Third down coming up for Ansonia. Line of scrimmage is the Shelton 26. Thus far in the football game, the Gaels have coughed up the football twice. They just cannot do that against a team as good as Ansonia. Pelotowski, left-handed quarterback, throwing. Has a receiver out there. It is dropped by D'Onofrio. Bobbled the football at the 4. He's gotten open, and it falls as an incompleted pass. Covered by Dyke.
Dave D'Onofrio would love to have that one back. There was good coverage. It looked like David might have pushed a little at the last second. Watch now as Pelotowski's back in the pocket. Pretty good pressure inside, but he gets the ball off. Dave D'Onofrio with good coverage downfield by Shelton. Right there, a little bit of a push, and cannot hold the football. Brings up a big fourth down. About 6 yards to go for Ansonia here in their second possession of the first quarter.
So the Chargers are 4th and 6 from the Shelton 26. That's Sharkey going in motion. Pelotowski wants to throw on fourth down. Has the completion to Sharkey.
Very, very close. The spot is going to determine this one.
Dykes on the tackle for Shelton.
Sharkey on a turnout here for about 5.5 to 6 yards. Right at the 20-yard line. And Shelton is held. Ansonia did not convert the first down. It comes up less than a half yard short of that first down marker.
So the Shelton Gaels have dodged the bullet again. Twice handing the ball to Ansonia in their own territory in the first quarter. And Ansonia has yet to make a first down in this game.
They have not converted a first down. They took over on their Shelton 40-yard line the first possession. They were unable to move the ball. And on the 30, and we may have talked a little bit too early here as the referee signals, Ansonia wants a mark. And they didn't get it. It's still a half an inch short.
They just lost that argument, as Buddy said, by about an inch. D'Onofrio, one of the captains for Ansonia, wanted that measurement, and he wanted the first down. Did not get it. Gaels will go on offense for the third time today. We're scoreless late stages of this first quarter. Intra-Valley matchup between these two powerful Valley teams. Wishbone for the Gaels. The fullback is Kearns. Behind him is Kalovich and Sapkowski. Kearns gets the call and gets about 3 right up the middle. 71 in for Ansonia on defense. That is Dave Linder, 6 foot, 175-pound senior.
Eddie, I think some of the Shelton fans are sitting back wondering why they went out of that eye into the wishbone this week. Obviously, Coach Branca feels that they have to be able to control the football and that they want to be able to power the football. But certainly it's a change from last week's eye to this week's wishbone.
With the ball, Sapkowski finding some good room to the 30-yard line. He's awfully close to a Gale first down. Number 85 on the tackle for the Chargers. That's Harold Bell, 5'11", 158-pound senior safety.
See Sapkowski again come through with the power, just a handoff to that back in that bone and just trying to power forward. Excellent game for them, and about a half a yard short of that third down or first down yardage.
Third and very short. Wishbone for the Gaels. The quarterback is Keith White, the senior quarterback. Blast inside. That's John Kearns, and we're going to wait the spot here. It's going to be important to see if he made the first down. Officials are indicating that he has, and it is a Gael first down.
Last week we remarked that Shelton certainly had a number of outstanding running backs, and this week they're able to get Kearns and Kalovich in there together with Sapkowski. 3 very hard-running people, and that's probably one of the reasons that Shelton decided to go into that bone, to use all 3 of those football players on the field at the same time.
Fullback is Kearns. Behind him, Sapkowski and Kalovich in the backfield. That is Keith White taking it himself, calling his numbers. He gets to the 35-yard line. Number 79, Big Ramondo Stallings at the bottom of that pile. 6'7", 250-pound senior. Bringing up a 3rd and 5 for the Gaels. The line of scrimmage is at their 35-yard line. That is Sapkowski slanting off the left side from his right halfback spot in the wishbone. Picks up only 1 yard on the play. Burkowski on the tackle for Ansonia.
This is where Ansonia certainly has an advantage. It's a 3rd and 5. Shelton has not thrown the football very well. In the wishbone, it's a tough offense when you get into those 2nd and long and 3rd and long situations, especially in your own territory. And this is where Shelton's going to have to improve if they hope to win this football game. They've got to be able to convert these 3rd and long and 2nd and long situations.
2 wide receivers to the upper part of your screen. I formation. And going in motion, that is Kalovich. Let's see if they drew Ansonia into that neutral zone. Let's see how it goes against Ansonia.
Everybody on Ansonia went with the snap count. Keith White did a good job drawing him offside. Picks up another first down for them, the 4th first down that they've had today. Ansonia without a first down, but still Shelton has not gotten out of their own territory in this football game.
Now that's going to move the ball 5 yards upfield to just across the 40-yard line, it'll be.
It may be a little short of the first down. I spoke too soon.
That'll still be a third then and about inches to go for the Gaels. Earlier, Buddy had a chance to talk to Coach Hunt, and he asked Coach Hunt about the progress that his young quarterback, Keith Pelotowski, had made to this point.
I think Keith has done a fine job. You know, he's led us to the first victory. He threw the ball real well. I think the problem wasn't Keith. I think it was our offensive line. And if we give him the time, he'll do a super job.
Coach, we appreciate the fact you stopped by, and we'll see you after the football game. Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. In your picture, the Shelton mascot, the Gaels. And the Gaels have come up just inches short after the mark-off for the Ansonia penalty. Ball just across the 40-yard line. The Gaels run a tight wishbone formation. Give to the bread and butter back. That is Calvin. He has the first down as he slants up to the 45-yard line.
Both backs in that wishbone are sitting back about 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, and they're getting excellent takeoff as they approach the line. And both Kalovich and Sipkowski are doing a great job of finding a little seam in that defense and making that big yardage for them as they convert another first down for the Shelton Gaels.
Ball at the 44-yard line. The Gaels have moved the ball well thus far. Small chunks of yardage, but they're moving it nonetheless. That's White. Thrown under in the backfield by Linders, pouring through.
We've got an inside blitz right here. White never has a chance. As he goes to drop back, he is going to get drilled right there, and never had a chance to set up and throw the football as Linders was on top of him before he was able to get back.
Second down coming up for the Gaels. 2nd and 15. The line of scrimmage is the 40. High formation now for the Gaels. Back is turned. Behind him, that is Kalovich. Kalovich on a delayed handoff. He stopped there by big Chris Kinnebrew.
Ansonia's starting to close down the middle a little bit as Kalovich that time just about got back to the line of scrimmage.
There's offensive coordinator Tony Piccolo directing activities on the Shelton sideline. That is the end of the first quarter of play from here at Sim Stadium in Shelton. Shelton nothing, Ansonia nothing. On the third down play, D'Onofrio was one of the hitters for Ansonia, along with monster back Marty Pelotowski.
Keith White is going to scramble out of the pocket. We saw this early on our football kickoff show, how Keith White can scramble. But he is going to get hit right here by David D'Onofrio at the end of this run to stop him short of the first down. And this is one of the best hits you're going to see in high school football right here. A solid hit by D'Onofrio. Brings him up short, and he's going to have to kick the football. Great run and scramble that time by Keith White, and a great tackle that time by David D'Onofrio.
Line of scrimmage the 48 of Ansonia, and Steve Anderson for his first punt of the 1988 season. Did not have to punt last week against Sheehan. And he angles it to the near sidelines and out of bounds deep in Ansonia territory. And the Chargers will take over at that point. Line of scrimmage now, the 20-yard line. That's where the punt sailed out of bounds. There again, a couple of the Shelton coaches, Kevin Chavez and Tony Piccolo, huddling on the sideline. First down for the Chargers, who have not gotten untracked at all offensively. Given a couple of breaks in the first quarter, unable to capitalize. That's Henrik getting about 3 on the sweep to the right side. Dykes from his safety position on the tackle for Shelton. Fran Henrik, who emerged last year as the big ball carrier for the Chargers. About the third game in when he had a good game against the Kennedy Eagles. From that point on, he just emerged as the #1 man in that backfield. Pick up a 4 for Hendricks on that first down carry. Line of scrimmage is the 24. Wishbone for the Chargers. Hendricks again slides off the right side, picks up 2 on the carry as the Chargers look to grind it out a little bit on the ground. Steve Anderson in on the tackle for the Shelton Gaels.
3rd down and 4 for Ansonia on its own 26.
Both teams, Buddy Chernovitz, sort of in a feeling out pattern still here in the second quarter.
I don't think either one wants to make a mistake. They feel that one touchdown certainly is possibly will determine the outcome of this football game. Ansonia going to the wishbone, trying to, as Shelton has done, establish a power game so that they can make 3 or 4 yards on that running game.
Bottom part of your picture, that is Sharkey along with D'Onofrio, and a little bit of motion in that defensive line, and let's see if Ansonia gets the encroachment call.
I think Ansonia has returned the favors. Keith White was able to draw Ansonia off. This time it is Politowski who was able to pull the Shelton defense, and for Ansonia it is their first or initial first down coming early in this second quarter.
Well, it took a penalty to do so, but as Buddy mentioned, that is the initial first down for Ansonia. You get a look at the Shelton cheerleaders here at Finn Stadium. Both teams undefeated into the second week of the season. That's Joe Willits in the ballgame in motion, and a flag is dropped in the backfield. Might go against Ansonia from where the flag was dropped.
D'Onofrio, I think, turned up toward the line of scrimmage prior to the snap of the football.
Oh, it's Politowski carrying the football for Ansonia.
Defensively, Shelton is doing a great job in containing the running attack. See D'Onofrio number 12, that wasn't D'Onofrio. He turned up. Joe Willits turned up into the line prior to the snap of the football. Shelton will refuse it as the Gaels shut down that running play and will take the play rather than the penalty, bringing up a second and about 11.
Second and 11 it is, Buddy. The line of scrimmage is at 31. Back in a high formation. Politowski wants to throw on second down. Has D'Onofrio, overthrows D'Onofrio at the Shelton 40-yard line. Sapkowski along with Gossard on the coverage for Shelton.
D'Onofrio was open that time. The ball was overthrown by Steve Politowski, but certainly it will force the Gaels to remember that, and the fact that they will, Ansonia, go deep at any point in the football game as they are sitting at their own 30-yard line.
3rd and 11 for Ansonia. High formation for the Chargers. Wide receivers either side of the field. Politowski under a rush. It's the screen. Burkowski with the football, and he rumbles up to the 40-yard line. Jamie Dykes on the tackle for the Gaels.
Watch Keith sprint to this near side, then he'll just stop, set, and throw the ball back on the screen. We've seen this for a lot of years with Ansonia, that tight end screen, and he will come up short of the first down, but an excellent call, and it brings up 4th and 1. Ansonia now with a key decision here early in the second quarter.
Oh, they brought in their long snapper, that is Eric Lacko. Now they've changed things around. Let's see if they just try to draw Shelton outside. Now they're going to get a delay of game penalty against the Chargers.
And now they are definitely going to punt the football, as that penalty will force them to kick. It's one thing to go 4th and 1. 4th and 6.
You just don't do it.
Not if you want to come back next week and coach.
Line of scrimmage is the 36 of Ansonia. That's D'Onofrio, who will be, in a moment, going back to punt the football away. Back deep for the Gaels. Dykes along with Sapkowski. A rush by the Gaels, but D'Onofrio gets it off a high punt. Coming down to Dykes at the 27. Dykes leaps and is knocked off his feet at the 39-yard line. Getting there first for Ansonia was Fiducia.
Excellent punt by David D'Onofrio and a great return that time. Jamie Dykes getting the ball back to close to the 40-yard line. as Shelton, as you see the ball kick there, good pressure from Shelton, and then an excellent return for the Shelton Gaels as they have the best field position that they have all morning starting a drive, their fourth possession.
Shelton Gaels on the wishbone on the first down. That is Kalovich slicing off the right side, taking a couple of the Chargers to the 46-yard line does Steve Kalovich, strike captain, down by number 10, Dave D'Onofrio. And a second down will be coming up for the Gaels, but Buddy, the Gaels will take that all day long, 7-8 yards on first down.
5-yard gain on that wishbone certainly is what you would like, and Shelton has certainly not surprising anyone. They're coming right at Ansonia and driving that big front back off the football a little bit.
Sights to the bottom of your screen, a tight formation out of the wishbone. The tight end is Miller to the left side, and that is Kalovich. Bumped at the line of scrimmage by Linders, number 71. I don't know who took the brunt of that for us.
Watch now again the power fullback, halfback lead, and Linders right at the line of scrimmage. Kalovich will remember that hit tomorrow morning when he wakes up. Again, there have been some solid tackles in this football game, an indication of the intensity of both football teams out there.
Timeout on the field, and we'll take a timeout. We're scoreless here at Penn Stadium. Third down coming up for the Gaels. Football marked at their 46-yard line, and they have to get to their 49, so it's a 3rd and 3 for the Gaels. A scoreless battle thus far here at Penn Stadium. Turns is the fullback. The quarterback is White. The pitch. Kalovich has the opening. Kalovich rumbles to the 40-yard line. 30, 20-yard line, 10-yard line, near sideline. Third and 3 for the Gaels from their 46-yard line, and the try captain broke it. But a flag is on the field, and that might come back. Flag is at the Shelton 44-yard line. That would be a heartbreak for the Shelton Gaels.
It's going to come back. An excellent call that time by Shelton. They came out with the option to dive inside to the fullback, really held the inside people. A great stalk block on the outside by Miller on D'Onofrio, and Kalovich was down the sideline 46 yards for a touchdown, but it is going to be brought back. Blocking below the waist is going to be the call, and for Shelton, that certainly will be a big play later on in this football game.
So a 3rd down on the play, and where the penalty was marked off, it now comes up as the Shelton Gaels having a 3rd down, the line of scrimmage, their 48. But the Chargers should certainly not complain at all because they have just dodged the bullet. There's a timeout on the field.
Jack Hunt is questioning the mark of the penalty in the block below the waist where it was spotted from. It does bring up a 3rd and 2 or less than 2, a very makeable penalty or situation for the Shelton Gaels after losing that 54-yard touchdown run by Steve Kalovich.
Across the field, there is Coach Hunt talking as we get a look at it on replay.
Inside fake, held everyone, and then Kalovich down the sideline. Bell, last man with an opportunity, does not make a good tackle considering he is the last guy. Kalovich is off to the races, but the penalty came earlier. A block on David D'Onofrio below the waist brings that back. Brings up a 3rd and less than 2.
Well, the Gaels have to know something, though, buddy, that out of the wishbone now they're starting to find some seams and creases in that Ansonia defense.
Well, they haven't really gone to that pitch. It's the first time they got the ball outside, and they certainly had a seam as they got the ball outside to Steve Kalovich. Inside that dive fake and the power, which they've been running all day, held the linebackers and set up that big play.
So White is doing the job at quarterback.
Excellent job so far. The first mistake of the game where he fumbled, has not made a mistake since then.
3rd and short for the Gaels. Let's see if they pick up the first down. White, a little bit of a mix-up there, but White's going to pick up the first down as he angles towards the near sidelines, runs out of bounds. He's topped there by D'Onofrio at the calling card.
He had a harder hit on his own sideline. as he went out of bounds. He hit one of his own players. Great presence by Keith White. As they missed the handoff here, you'll see he is lost. He just turns and gets back to the near sideline for the first down. Excellent job in that offensive line staying with blocks. Watch right here. D'Onofrio runs him out, and then boom. Sideline hit by one of his own players, but a big, big first down. Keith White, excellent presence, able to make that all by himself after a busted play on the handoff.
Well, the Gaels have it at the Ansonia 46 after the Keith White first down carry. Burns is the fullback in the wishbone. Calavage, bear hug by Big Stallings, Raimondo, and tempers are starting to flare there. A few hard hitting for both teams.
Look at the power of the kick out by Sikorsky and Kearns, and then Raimondo comes over and around to get that wrestle. Pulls him to the ground after about a 3.5 to 4 yard gain. Calavage, I think, was upset because he thought he was free and into the secondary that time. Stallings came from the side for the tackle.
Ball down at the Ansonia 42-yard line.
And it's about time some people got excited. This is one of the games where people do get excited, especially out on that field.
Fitzpatrick to the top part of your screen. Dykes to the lower half. And the wishbone, the pitch. Sikorsky with some room. Linders, though, on a fine individual one-on-one tackle.
Shelton did an outstanding job in pinning Burkowski at the line of scrimmage. Watch the defensive end is pinned right here, and he cannot get outside to contain. Stallings driving to get outside. Finally, Linder with the tackle. But a good job on the offensive line of scrimmage at blocking down and allowing that quick pitch to get outside. Another about 4-yard gain, bringing up about a 2-yard 3rd and 2 for Shelton. And if they keep this up, they're right on schedule. That 4 or 5 yards initial 1st and 2nd down, bringing up a very makeable 3rd down.
3rd and short out of the wishbone. Go the Gaels. Miller and a fumble on the pitch out. A scramble for the ball. Let's see if the Chargers came up with it. They did. White was belted in the backfield. Burkowski on the loose ball for Ansonia.
Watch as Keith comes out of the handoff here. He's going to get drilled as he goes to pitch the ball. Burkowski does not allow him to get the ball out, and that was the play that they just ran to Calavage for the big touchdown. This time the ball is popped back into White's face, and Ansonia with another big turnover on the -45 as they begin again with pretty good field position for their 4th possession of the day. They only have 1 first down, and right now Ansonia's got to move that offense.
Well, Ansonia goes to a passing formation, single setback after the turnover. Kevin Sharkey in a halfback option has D'Onofrio deep. Scramble and picked off by the Gaels. Jamie Dykes at the 25-yard line.
Sharkey did not get the ball downfield. D'Onofrio outran Sharkey's ability to get it down there. Jamie Dykes did a great job. If we get it on replay, watch as Sharkey releases the football. He's going to get a little bit of a waddle to it. David D'Onofrio was waiting for the ball, does a good job in trying to knock it down, but Jamie Dykes holds on to the football. Another big turnover at the 25-yard line for Ansonia. For Shelton.
Buddy, and marvel at the athletic ability of Jamie Dykes. First-year player for the Shelton Gaels as a senior. Tremendous effort by the Gaels. So the teams have exchanged the football on successive plays on turnovers. Gaels have it 1st and 10 at their 25. That's Sikorsky trying to pick his way to the left side. This time the Ansonia right side of the defense comes up to meet the play. Pickup of, let's call it back to the line of scrimmage at the 25. Mike Diudo on the tackle for Ansonia. 6'5", 250-pound junior defensive tackle. Checking into that Shelton lineup at the split end position, Paul Griffin, 5'8", 160-pound senior wide receiver. 2nd and 10 for the Gaels at their 25. Second quarter action. We're scoreless here at Finn Stadium. We've got a good one for you on our Cable 10 Sports Valley High School football game of the week. Keith White. That's Calavage upended in the backfield. The Ansonia defense starting to make some penetration now. Burkowski along with Diudo.
Ansonia certainly is very big, as we all know, across the front, and they are beginning to get a good look at that wishbone. They are beginning to adjust to the inside game, and Ansonia now is going to be able to dominate inside the tackles. Shelton has got to open up with the option, has got to come outside a little bit, or they're not going to make that yardage that they've been making in this first half of football.
Well, we saw a while ago, there's a touchdown called back, but White on the pitch out to Calvert. Let's see if they try to get outside. White wants to throw on third down, under a rush from the backside, and brought down at the 15-yard line is Keith White. That's Burkowski on the tackle from his defensive end position.
White again on a scramble, cannot get away from Burkowski. He is going to get wrestled to the ground here as Shelton trying to use that throwing game a little bit. Been very unsuccessful so far in the passing game as it puts them back at the 15. Punt situation, and Ansonia will have the ball with under 4 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Low snap from center, but Anderson gets the punt off. Coming downfield, that's Harold Bell fielding it at midfield. Harold Bell trying to get outside with the wall there, and taken down by Kern on the far side of the field. Reminder, as we look at the fans here at Finn Stadium, that at the conclusion of the football game, we'll be making the presentation of the Fitzpatrick Player of the Game Award.
Eddie Shelton Ansonia has excellent field position. 3 minutes and 4 seconds left to go here. They only have one first down, but they have an opportunity here to open their offense up a little bit to try and get on the board before the end of the half.
That's the pitch out to Hendricks as a flag is dropped by the near official. Hendricks gets down to the 42-yard line.
Got to be a hold or a clip. And there's the signal of a hold. Came in that area where you get the holding call against Ansonia. An excellent game that time. First run over 3 yards for Ansonia, but it's going to be brought back. As you see on the sidelines, Keith White, who was a little shaken after that last series when he was dragged down, being helped over to the bench. He has had an excellent first half, but he has been hit a couple of times. As you see the nurse taking a look at Keith. And before he goes back in the game, they're going to make certain that there is nothing physically wrong.
Keith has had some back spasm problems earlier on in the preseason camp. We hope that Keith White is all right and returns to this football game. So after the 10-yard assessment against the Chargers, it's a first down and long for Ansonia. Give inside, that's Fiducia. He is going nowhere inside as the Gaels combine on the tackle. That's Novak and Osak on the tackle for the Gaels. Chargers, buddy, without that running game inside.
They don't have the passing game working for them either, so they are without both the running and passing game in this first half. Shelton has done a great job defensively against Ansonia.
Line of scrimmage is the 43 of Ansonia. Second and a whole bunch to go. Politowski has stuffed it down. Pouring through.
Aurelio Horatio, one of the captains, right into Politowski's face here. Slides off the block of the inside guard and just drills Keith Politowski. Another loss. The blocking along the line of scrimmage for Ansonia has not been very good. We heard Coach Hunt talk about the inability last week of Ansonia and the offensive line picking up the inside stunts, and they are not doing that early in this first half. They're not giving Politowski a great deal of time.
Third and long for Ansonia. And going nowhere, that's Hendricks again. Being pushed back by the right side of the Shelton defense. Kalovich in among the tacklers for Shelton. But in some regards, this is a replay of last year's game.
Certainly is. Shelton dominated all the way along until the end of the football game. And one drive was the difference for Ansonia. Right now, Ansonia, which started the drive at the plus 48, have lost 12 yards, and they are punting after a 12-yard loss with under 1 minute to go here in this first half.
Dave D'Onofrio quickly gets the punt off and angling it towards Jamie Dykes. Jamie Dykes with a seam on the left side of the field before he's racked up by a few of the Chargers at the 42-yard line. So let's see if Coach Tony Branca's team could get on the scoreboard with 43 seconds remaining here in the first half, or whether Coach Branca would be content to take a scoreless tie here and at halftime.
I think a lot will depend upon Keith White and his ability as he goes back out to the huddle. We saw him just a moment ago on the bench. 40 minutes in the, or 40 seconds in the wishbone is not enough to score, and we may see Shelton just be satisfied to go in here at halftime with a 0-0 tie. They haven't broken the bone. Yes, they have. So they're going to come out of it, so maybe they're going to put the ball up here and attempt to try and get a big play.
Split back. That's Zupkowski splitting out to the right side. White is back in, and a straight handoff. Turns on the carry, and a quick timeout called by the Gaels, and 15 seconds showing here on the scoreboard clock at Finn Stadium.
I don't know why you would take a timeout here with 15 seconds when you just ran into the line. Keith White does not have the ability to throw the football 35 yards down the field, and I don't think Shelton is going to want to risk putting the ball up. I don't know why they would take a timeout. You see on the sidelines there, Anderson and a number of the other, Stevie Anderson, getting some equipment checked out. He has had an excellent first half, along with the rest of that Shelton defense that has certainly contained Ansonia. They will go in at halftime giving up only one first down.
That on a penalty.
That on a penalty. In the last series, Ansonia started at their own 48, ended up losing 12 yards before they had a punt. So Shelton has certainly contained the offense, the base offense, and the size differential, which everyone talks about, certainly has not been a difference in this football game. Shelton has held their own along the line of scrimmage.
Second down play, that's Calaridge going in motion, and White wants to put it up, and then tucks it in, and is hammered at the line of scrimmage. Mike Diudo on the initial tackle for Ansonia, and quickly the Gaels to the line of scrimmage, and they're not going to be able to get off a play. That is it. That is the end of the first half of play from here at Finn Stadium in Shelton. We are scoreless, and we'll be right back with our... R.J. Rondini, his first kickoff of the day to start the second half, and running the football out of the end zone. It's Fran Henricks. See if he gets back to the 20-yard line. Henricks on the clean. 40-yard line. Midfield. 40-yard line. Fran Henricks back to his 1-yard line. Actually went into the end zone. Scores. 100-yard return. Fran Henricks.
Eddie, Fran Henricks just weaved his way back upfield. He collided with one of his blockers about the 20-yard line and then broke down the Ansonia sidelines, the far side, and just went the distance. As you see Fran Henricks there. Here's a kick again by Rondini. Henricks will take the ball inside the end zone, and he is going to now, watch right here, he hits Bell, and then to the outside, the contain came in, and he just gets outside. As last guy having a shot at him, number 10 for Shelton cannot do it, and he's going to get credit with well over a 100-yard return as we open the second half here in Shelton.
I was questioning the wisdom of Henricks coming out, and he went all the way for the score. D'Onofrio, that's a surprise, kicking the extra point. Normally Adam Hallett is the extra point kicker, and so an electrifying start to the second half. Buddy and I were going to talk about the fact that both these teams had an awful lot of defense and very little offense. And let's take a look now at the statistics from the first half of play.
Eddie, the key to the first half obviously was defense. Shelton with 45 yards total offense. Ansonia with only 22. 7 yards rushing for Ansonia. They were 3 for 7 throwing. 3 fumbles for Shelton. 2 turnovers that they gave up, and an interception apiece. But that run by Fran Henricks starting the second half has been all of the offense that Ansonia has had in this football game. As you see, with 11:44 left in this third quarter, Ansonia ahead 7-0.
So you would have thought that the Shelton Gaels were going to have Ansonia pinned deep in their own territory, and Henricks, Buddy mentioned, takes it in over 100 yards for the game's only score thus far.
And R.J. Rondini, the kicker, had the last shot at Fran Henricks, could not bring him down, but the contain for Shelton was not there, allowing Henricks to the sidelines and the touchdown.
End over end. That's Dykes on the other end of Kinnebrew's kick. That's Neil Taylor with the football. Taylor hemmed in on the near sidelines as he crosses his 30-yard line. And the Gaels are going to have to get up emotionally now to combat the kickoff return by Hendricks. Line of scrimmage is the 33-yard line. Keith White going into the huddle.
We said early on that one big play might determine this football game. We went an entire half without any scoring. Only 6 total first downs, and the one big play has come early in this second half.
Gaels stay in that wishbone. 1st and 10 for the Gaels at their 33-yard line. The up back is Kearns with the football from his left halfback spot. That's Calavage as he gets a yard on the play to the 34.
Little extracurricular activity here as a flag comes in between Calavich and D'Onofrio, 2 captains. We'll see how the referees rule here, who initiated the contact or who got caught, and it's going to be against both teams. Very good call by Mark Bobaro, the referee. Intensity level is certainly up here as we begin this second half, and not fair to penalize one team on a play like that. Good call by Mark Barbero.
Second down coming up for the Gaels. A pickup of 1 on that play by Calavage. The line of scrimmage is the 34. The Gaels' first offensive possession of the second half. Second down play coming up. That's Eric DeMarco, or rather Scott DeMarco, should say. The center for the Gaels, junior center, 6 foot, 210-pound junior. Pitch out. Sipkaski, left side, trying to find some running room. The Ansonia right side of that defense up to make the play, stacking up Sipkaski.
Great job that time containing Coughlin along with the right side, preventing Sipkaski from turning and getting upfield. Contained on the pitch, and Ansonia now doing a very good job in the initial series with the Shelton Gaels of containing the wishbone and preventing any big first or second down games as it brings up a 3rd and long, and not a good situation for Shelton.
Line of scrimmage on the 36. In motion is Kearns as they break the bone. Straight handoff, Calavich straight ahead, and a flag is dropped on the play, and from the looks of it, it's going to go against the Shelton Gaels.
Going to be a holding call. Bill Mahan there, the umpire, with the signal. If Ansonia chooses to take it, it will put Ansonia or Shelton back, as they're going to refuse, bringing up a 4th down and about 5 yards, so that Shelton will not get another offensive opportunity. They will be forced to punt from their own 39-yard line and give Ansonia their first possession of this second half.
So the Gaels will kick the football away. 4th down. Steve Anderson back inside his 30-yard line. Back deep for Ansonia. On the other end, Errol Bell along with Fran Hendricks. Anderson gets it off. A high, booming punt in the vicinity of Bell. Bell with Hendricks in front blocking. Bell hemmed in at the 20-yard line, dumped by a couple of the Gaels. Number 73 leading the charge, Dave Vincent.
Excellent coverage that time as Bell caught the ball on the 20, tried to come to the near side, did not get anything, and was tackled right at the 20 as he scampered back. Vincent, a great job on contain. Ansonia with their first possession. They took the opening kickoff down the field. This will be their first possession from the line of scrimmage in the second half. 1 first down for them in this football game, as their offense now needs to establish some credibility.
Ansonia leads in this football game by a score of 7-0. Keith Pelotowski, the quarterback. And
Shelton has a big turnover.
Fumble on the exchange from quarterback to his running back, and the Gaels have picked it off at the Ansonia 18-yard line.
Aurelio Gracia came up with the turnover. Hendricks into the line, did not have the football. They went to the wishbone, attempting to power. When Hendricks hit the line of scrimmage, he lost the football, and the 18-yard line now will be the starting point for Shelton in their second possession here, and a very big turnover early in this second half.
So the Gaels presented with a golden opportunity to knock this football game up. Ansonia calls a timeout. They want to regroup on defense. And the emotional ebb and flow of a football game, now the momentum seems to be on the Shelton side.
This is a big series for Shelton. They obviously have to come away with some points here They gave up that touchdown to start the second half. Their kids were a little down emotionally. Now they have a chance to get it right back. They're sitting on the 18-yard line, a big turnover, and they need to put some points on the board. As you see that big interior of the Ansonia football team, Ramondo Stallings and some of the others there. Stallings himself goes 6'7", 250 pounds. Smallest guy in that defensive line is Jack Coughlin, a senior, who's 6'1", 212. So across the front, they are very big. Kinnebrew at 278. Burkowski at 6'3", 200, and excellent size across the front, as again we will see this kickoff and return by Fred Hendricks, which has been the key to this football game so far. Watch Hendricks as momentum carries him back into the end zone, about 2 to 3 yards, and here we will come up the field.
As we jump out of that replay, and the first down for the Shelton Gaels. White hammered at the line of scrimmage by the inside of that Ansonia defense. Number 66, Captain John Coughlin on the play.
Coughlin coming right down the line now on the option at the quarterback. They are not feathering. In other words, the end is attacking the quarterback, and this is the third time that Keith White has been caught with the football, unable to make the pitch. And that is an indication that the Ansonia defense is coming right at the quarterback, and they do not want to allow him time to pitch or to turn up the field.
Tight formation, Dykes to the bottom of your screen. In the 2nd and 11 for the Gaels at the Ansonia 20-yard line. The blast inside. Turn stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Ansonia front wall does not want to give any ground. That's Dai Udo on the play for Ansonia.
3rd and 11. First down, lost the yard. 2nd down, they try and run the fullback in there. It's 3rd down. They're in 4-down territory, but Shelton has not been able to move that football on the key 1st and 2nd downs in this wishbone in this second half, and that is going to present a serious problem for them because they are not a throwing football team.
Fitzpatrick checks in as the wide receiver for the Gaels in the wishbone on the 3rd and 11 at the Ansonia 20-yard line, a key part of the football game. White back to throw, looking out there, incomplete as he overthrows Hearn for check that Gossard at the 5-yard line. D'Onofrio on the coverage for Ansonia.
Gossett was wide open. The throw was again over his head. Keith White on a little bit of a rollout out of that power set, and it brings up a big 3rd down and possibility here of a field goal. Again, Shelton would like to come away with something after that turnover. Rondini back for the kick.
This will be a 37-yarder at the football marker at the 27. RJ puts his foot into the football and under the crossbar, no good, and the Chargers have dodged the bullet. And with our score, Ansonia 7 and Shelton nothing, let's take this timeout. Takes over at their 20-yard line. Hendricks barely able to get up to the line of scrimmage, and Gossard was upset that he did not nail Hendricks in the backfield.
Matt Miller had a shot at him also, but Miller turned him back inside for the pursuit to get at him. Shelton again, and can't overstate the obvious, but they have certainly contained the Ansonia offense. 1 first down. Ansonia has done nothing through the year or on the ground against this strong, very strong Shelton defensive team.
Looking down for Ansonia just outside their 20-yard line. Keith Filatowski gives it to Kevin Sharkey and a scissor. Sharkey with the first down as he gets to the 35-yard line, and that has been Ansonia's most successful play from scrimmage. Chuck Sapchowski on the stop for Shelton.
Came with his scissors across the formation that time as Sharkey is very close to first down yardage. Great call that time. As you see inside the linebackers, look at Gossett right there. He's coming. They catch him in a blitz. Able to trap off tackle. You see the end coming all the way across. Burkowski leading him up the field, and Sharkey a big game for Ansonia as the 2nd first down for Ansonia in this football game.
And while we have a break in the action, let's go back in time and take a look at a Cable 10 Sports Flashback. In the first quarter on 3rd and long from the Shelton 20-yard line, Ansonia running back Rob Robinson took a screen pass from quarterback Jeff Coppola and picked his way into the end zone for the game's first score. Robinson also set up Ansonia's second touchdown with this run of 35 yards in the second quarter, and later in the first half scored from 19 yards out on a draw play. The final score was Ansonia 30, Shelton nothing.
That was Ansonia's second first down of the ball game.
First down for Ansonia. Welcome back, everyone. Polodowski handing off to Fiducia, the fullback. Fiducia picks up 2 on the play. And believe me, a gain of 2 yards for Ansonia is reason for optimism today, because Ansonia really just has not done anything offensively. Although to be perfectly fair, we got to give a lot of that credit to the Shelton defense.
Shelton is not exactly knocking people down either. 45 yards in the first half. Although they've been more consistent, they've not been able to put a drive together to get into the end zone. They have moved the football much better than Ansonia has.
I formation for Ansonia, second down from the 37. That's to give to Hendricks. Picks his way to the 35. Now in on defense for Shelton. Scott Glasscox cleans up on the play.
Kalovich with the initial hit. 3rd and 5. We'll see if Ansonia will throw the football here. They have been willing to put the ball up in the air. Pelotowski was 3 for 7 in the first half. It is a throwing down considering their inability to run the football, but with a 7-point lead and on your own 40-yard line may not be the point where Jack Hunt decides to throw.
2 wide receivers to the bottom part of your screen. I formation and movement from both lines, and now we wait for the officials to unravel.
Armando Stallings moved. The defensive man was drawn. Stallings cannot move once he is in the set. It's going to be against Ansonia.
I like that, buddy. The Shelton lineman, down lineman pointing to Ansonia, the Ansonia lineman pointing to Shelton. Boys will be boys.
And that is a terrible, terrible call. I hope we have it on replay, because once that offensive guy comes set, it does not matter. Watch Stallings at the top of your picture right there. There he is coming up, and he draws that Shelton player into the neutral zone. It was not Shelton that initiated the movement. So Ansonia catches a break here as they come up 3rd and less than 1 on that penalty.
Johansson replaces Burkowski at tight end. 3rd and short for Ansonia at their 45-I formation. Hendricks picks up the first down off the right side and close to midfield.
Eddie, if we can take back to last year, just to remind people, the Ansonia football team was able to muster 1 offensive series to win the football game. And here they are in this first possession of the second half, and we'll see if they're able to, again, they've moved the ball from their own 20 now, back up the field, and second first down in this drive, the first time they put more than 1 first down together in the football game.
I formation first down. That's Hendricks picking his way off the right side, picks up his 3 yards on first down. Second down and 7 coming up for Ansonia as they get into Shelton territory, down to the 47-yard line. 4 minutes and change left in this third quarter as somebody was not interested in this football game, or is not interested. Second down, Pelotowski back to throw, screens it. Hendricks, right sideline, down to the 28-yard line. Pelotowski on the screen to Hendricks, and Hendricks did the rest.
Gossett with the tackle. You'll see now the ball thrown over Stallings' head as Stallings will slide outside on the screen. Hendricks is there. Look at it. Almost hit Stallings in the head. And Hendricks down again with excellent running down inside the 30-yard line. Great call that time by Jack Hunt and the offensive group. Setting up a big first down for them inside the 30.
First down, I formation for the Chargers. The scissors to the opposite side. That's Sharkey with the football checked at D'Onofrio. The ball popped up, but D'Onofrio pulled it back in and brought it down to the 17-yard line.
We get this on replay. They come back with the scissors again. D'Onofrio almost is leaned right at the line of scrimmage. There were 3 guys who had a shot on him. He got through, and down the field, then the ball popped loose on his own. He's able to retrieve it, and he's inside the 20 again with another big first down. And Shelton has taken a timeout here. Their defense has not given up 3 straight first downs in this drive by Ansonia.
Well, as you see some of the interested spectators here at Finn Stadium, as the sun to start this second half broke out. It was an overcast first half of play here at Finn Stadium. And there was also no scoring in the first half. And, Buddy, we got the third quarter off to a bang.
We certainly do. As you see, Jimmy Delavolpe, the offensive coordinator, who has done an excellent job coming out in the second half. Obviously, that kickoff has set the tone for Ansonia, but Jimmy has made some adjustments at halftime, and his offensive team now has put 3 straight first downs together, a couple nice throws one nice throw by Politowski, the scissors play, which has worked twice for them, and again, Fran Henrichs just trying to get that tough yardage inside. So Ansonia, some adjustments at halftime, and they have done an excellent job here in this first possession of the second half.
First down for Ansonia at the 17. Produces the fullback, and behind him is Henrichs. 10, 5, towards the end zone, down to the 1-yard line goes Fran Henrichs. And a first down, first and goal for Ansonia. Finally tripped up by Jamie Dykes.
Blast in there. You'll see Henrichs with the fullback lead. We saw it all last week at Shelton here when the Gaels ran it. Henrichs untouched right down to about the 1-yard line as Sipkaski with the initial stop. And he comes up about a yard short of a touchdown. Fran Henrichs certainly a key to this football game in the second half.
Power I for Ansonia, and Henrichs tries the right side, does not make it. Todd Gossard leading the defense for Shelton.
If we go back about 4 minutes into the game when Shelton got that turnover on the 18-yard line, did not come away with any points. Ansonia has taken the drive down the field from the 18. They are now at the 2-yard line, second and goal, and that inability of Shelton to score early in this second half is certainly a key to this football game.
Second and goal for Ansonia, back to the wishbone. Pitch, Henrichs. Stop before he gets to the plane in the end zone by the left side of that Shelton defense. So they pitched it to Henrichs and did not get it in. Might have lost a yard on the play. The ball now back to the 2.5-yard line. Steve Anderson, the initial hit for the Gaels.
Pitch outside, attempting to come with student body right. Everybody leading. Anderson right there. You see Gracia, Gossett, everyone getting a part of that as coming in at the end. Paul Osak with the stop. They lost a yard on it, a big third down, and momentum right here for Shelton. If they can hold, they will still be in this football game.
They might look for D'Onofrio right now. That's Politowski thrown to a diving D'Onofrio, incomplete. The coverage by Sipkaski and Gossard.
Great coverage by Sipkaski as he ran. Chuck was step for step. D'Onofrio attempting to stretch out at the very end, but the ball is just overthrown. Politowski on a little roll to the near sideline. And here D'Onofrio just cannot reach the ball. Good coverage, brings up a 4th down, and a big decision for Ansonia. If they could kick a field goal right here, I don't think it would be a decision because 3 points will be maybe a big part of this football game, and they're going to go for it.
Well, they're not going to try it. They're going to go for it on 4th and goal. It's a 2.5 split back. Politowski's going to throw. Caught by D'Onofrio in the center of the end zone. And the Chargers on 4th and goal go to their quad captain, David D'Onofrio.
Goes to the money man. David D'Onofrio has been doing this for his entire career at Ansonia. It is just a quick slant, 2-step drop. Politowski inside throw. Excellent coverage there again by Chuck Sipkaski, but D'Onofrio able to pull it in. 13-0 Ansonia. And
it's David again trying to make it 14-0 for Ansonia. David D'Onofrio drills it through the upright. 1:44 remaining here in the third quarter, and Ansonia has taken a 2-touchdown lead over the Shelton Gaels. Buddy, we might remember, too, that last year's game, Ansonia and Shelton, after Ansonia Lane sneaked it in with about 44 seconds to go, it was Lane going to D'Onofrio for the 2 points and the win.
Big 2-point conversion and the win. Edward, it's going to be interesting right now to see if Shelton will stay in the wishbone. They're 14 points down. Certainly enough time, but they're not going to get back into this football game with the wishbone. They have not been able to put any points on the board, and possibly a decision now whether they will break the bone and try and open up a little bit more and spread Ansonia out.
Chris Kennebrew will be kicking off for Ansonia. Late stages third quarter. Ansonia leads at 14-0. All the points scored in this quarter. Line drive kickoff. Going in the vicinity of Taylor with the football. It's by one Charger and finally upended at the 25-yard line where the Gaels will put it in play on offense. Let's mention to everybody now that today's coverage of the high school football game of the week is a presentation of Cable 10 Sports, Valley Cablevision Incorporated. It's intended solely for the viewing enjoyment of Valley Cablevision subscribers, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Valley Cablevision is prohibited. First and 10 for the Gaels. Line of scrimmage is the 25. And the Gaels stay in that wishbone. Fullback is Kearns. And the give is to Kearns on the blast, and Kearns gets 4 yards on the play to the 29, but
the tough offense to go the length of the football field and to conserve time. The drive in this wishbone is going to eat the clock up, and that's something that Shelton really can't afford, as we're very close to the end of this third quarter.
Dykes in your picture to the bottom of your screen on the 2nd and 6 for the Gaels, still in the wishbone. Line of scrimmage is the 34. Back to throw is White under rush, brought down. Bob Berlinger poured in from his linebacker spot, 6', 200-pound senior.
Berlinger is just going to break free. You'll see Keith White looking for a receiver. Can't find it as he tries to get back. Berlinger's got a piece of him, does an excellent job. Burkowski also in there, and that has been a problem all day for the Shelton Gaels in protecting their quarterback.
And that is the last play of the third quarter from here at Penn Stadium in Shelton. Our score, Ansonia 14, Shelton nothing. Scott DeMarco approaches the football, the center for the Gaels. Third down coming up for Shelton. They have the football after the sack of White inside their 20-yard line to begin this fourth quarter. White has to put the ball up, looking downfield, has the time, just dumps it out to Calavage. And Calavage is driven out of bounds on the near sidelines, the charge led by Chris Kennebrew, 6'1", 278-pound junior middle guard. And a fourth down coming up for the Gaels, a kicking situation. Line of scrimmage to 22. Steve Anderson will do the kicking. And back deep for Ansonia, Hendricks and Bell at midfield. Anderson, a left-footed kicker. It's going to roll dead at midfield. And Ansonia puts the ball back in play. Buddy, you've got to think now that Ansonia will probably just try to take off some clock here.
I'll tell you, we've seen Ansonia where we thought they were going to take some clock off, and Jimmy Delavolpe putting the ball up for a big play. They have excellent field position. I know that if they can get another score, they're going to definitely try to. Although it certainly would indicate right now the running of the clock would certainly help Ansonia. Shelton has not been able to move the football in the second half. They've only had one real possession, but they're not running the football out of that bone as they did even in the first half.
Pitch to Hendricks out of the eye. Hendricks gets outside of Calavage and gets outside of Petoskey. And rumbles downfield, finally driven out of bounds inside the Shelton 40. So Fran Hendricks has come alive here in the second half.
Hendricks just had two solid football players, both Calavage and Sipkowski. Watch right here as he sets both of them up. They both have an excellent shot. Calavage bites on the inside move, and then Sipkowski does the same thing, and Fran Hendricks in his speed able to get outside for a big, big gain. Second and about a yard and a half.
It's Calavage's credit. He came finally back to make the tackle. And a second and short for Ansonia. Moving the football. Hendricks picking his way for the first down inside the 35-yard line.
Those holes that were not there in the first half are here in this second half. Again, give credit to Jimmy Delavolpe and the staff making some adjustments. Paul Sponheimer upstairs and John Sponheimer upstairs, along with some of the other spotters, have been able to make the adjustments, and they have done a great job here coming out and really dominating the offensive line of scrimmage in this second half.
Pitch out to Hendricks, a loose football. The Gaels might have fallen on it. They did. Gaels have picked up the loose football on the Hendricks fumble.
Recovery was by 76 for
John Novak.
John Novak on top of it. The pitch slightly behind Fran Hendricks as Keith Pelotowski reversing on the pitch. Hendricks did not come up with it, and a big turnover here for Shelton as they must score in this possession if they hope to get back into this football game. It is a do or die for them offensively. They've got to go the length of the football field. They're 62 yards away from a touchdown, and they've got to get into the end zone.
Well, the Gaels have it at their 38 after the Ansonia turnover. Wishbone for the Gaels. That's White on the option. Hammered again at the line of scrimmage. Cannot get away from the big defensive Ansonia lineman. Let's give credit that time to number 88, the initial hit, F.J. Burkowski. As you see, the Shelton coaching staff shuttling in their wide receivers. Dykes coming into the football game. Second down for the Gaels. Will pick up a 1 on the play. Line of scrimmage to 39. Ansonia leads it 14-0. Long count. White on the option. Kalovich reversing his field, getting outside, but coming up to make the play. Kevin Sharkey on the step.
For a moment, it looked like Kalovich might get back to the outside. The pitch again in his face, the defensive end, Burkowski forces a bad pitch, and then as Kalovich comes to the near side, he looks as if he might turn the corner, and watch Kevin Sharkey right here with excellent speed, and he just takes him on and drives him back. Great job by Mr. Sharkey, and it brings up a third and very, very long.
Third and long is right, and the Gaels have it at their 31. They go to split back. They want to throw on third down. That's Kalovich with the reception of the pass, and Kalovich gets across the 45-yard line.
They're still going to be short here as Kalovich comes down the seam. Keith White, we saw him last week complete that same pass against Sheehan. It brings up a fourth and very short. Big decision right here for Tony Branca. Whether to go for it, I think he is locked into having to go for it at this point in the football game as time is running out. Excellent throw that time by Keith White to Steve Kalovich.
The play was there, and the Gaels have some hope now as the third and long gets the football up to the 47-yard line.
They're going to be a good yard short. As you see, coming out of the seam right here, number 22, Kalovich. Excellent throw. Good coverage of Sharkey again right there on the tackle. Short of the first down. And for Shelton, this play will determine the ability of this football team, whether they get back into the game or not. They need the first down, and then they need to get into the end zone.
4th and 1. Football marked at the Shelton 47-yard line. Wide receivers will be out to the right side. Dykes along with Sapkowski. 4th down. And the Gaels set up in an I formation. All important 4th down. The Chargers dig in defensively. The Gaels want to make that first down and keep that possession. Give is to Kalovich. Fights his way for the first down. He was hit initially in the backfield. Spun off the Ansonia tackler and got down to the 49 for the first down. A big play for the Gaels.
Great second effort. You'll see Kalovich is drilled right here, a yard in the backfield. Number 40 got him, Berlinger and others, but drags forward for the first down. Chris Kennebrew had a piece of him initially, but Kalovich gets that first down. Surprising that they went out of the wishbone and then come straight ahead. They've been in the bone all day, went to the iron, short yardage, but made it.
First down for the Gaels, an important first down to say the least at the 49. Wishbone for the Gaels. Fourth quarter action, Ansonia leads at 14-0. Whitey looking to throw, gets it out to the outside. It's a completed pass down to the 45-yard line, completed.
Gossett, it looked like it was Todd Gossett coming out of the backfield.
And the ball just inside the 45-yard line of Ansonia. So the Gaels mounting a threat here in the fourth quarter.
Sharkey had a piece of that tackle again. Kevin Sharkey's been in on a number of key plays in the last series here for Ansonia.
Second and short for the Gaels. At the 44 of Ansonia, long count. White on the option. Gets it down to the 40-yard line before he's taken down by Burkowski along with Berlinger. Reminder to our viewers that at the conclusion of the game, we'll be making the presentation, the Most Valuable Player Award, the Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game Award. Third and a yard and a half. The line of scrimmage, the 40. Wishbone. Single wide receiver, upper part of your screen. Kalovich slides off the left side, and let's wait for the mark.
That was Sipkowski again on that power-off tackle. Chuck trying to get close to that first down. He's going to come up a little bit short, bringing up another big play for the Shelton offense as they have driven the ball now in an attempt to get back into this football game. About 7 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter as the yard markers are going to be brought in for a measurement.
And with this break in the action, we'll take a timeout. Our score, Ansonia 14, Shelton nothing. Off short of that first down yardage needed. Fourth down, they'll be going for it. The ball just inside the Ansonia 40-yard line. We've got 6:59 left to go here in the last quarter of play. Let's see if the Gaels pick it up. They need it, and White goes straight ahead for the first down. The center, that Shelton line, does the job. Gaels get it to the 36-yard line for the first down.
That time, Eddie Aurelio Gracia took Ramondo Stallings back about 6 yards. Watch the top of your picture right here. Block Stallings. Look at the drive off the ball as he is driven. Look at Gracia get into Stallings, and he just drives him back for 6 yards.
First down.
Size is not always as important as determination.
First down on the wishbone. White back to throw on first down, blindsided, and brought down at the 38.
Burkowski again in on the tackle along with John Coughlin. Both ends get a piece of him here as he is going to get sandwiched in between the two defensive ends right there. John got him first and FJ got him second, but Keith White has had very little time when he sits back in that pocket to throw the football, and it is not as much a problem that Keith can't get the ball down the field. He just hasn't had time to do it.
Second down, White looking to throw, throws downfield. It is incomplete, and a flag is dropped. The pass was intended for Paul Griffin, way over Griffin's head. That's going to be a penalty against Ansonia. A little bit of unnecessary roughness.
I think they're going to go, if it's unnecessary, but it's going to be a pass interference call. See, Mark Barbero there is going to make the signal. Pass interference, big play that time as it will set up and give them a first down, a 15-yard penalty. The throw was way over the head of the receiver, but Paul Griffin, but there was contact, as you see right here. Keith White on a little bit of a roll. The ball flies out of his hands, and you'll see right here the contact that is made right there as the receiver was ahead of the defensive player. And with 5:52 left to go here, the Shelton Gaels are inside the 25-yard line of the Ansonia Chargers.
First down play, White back to throw under a rush and brought down.
Berlinger. Linebackers coming again. No protection inside for Keith White. Again, he has had no time to release the football. Berlinger that time coming from his linebacker spot had a free shot at him. Puts him back at the 30-yard line.
So second down for the Gaels on the big sack for Ansonia. Line of scrimmage the 30. And the Gaels have to get down to the 14-13 for the first down. I'm running down here at Finn Stadium in Shelton. White, play action. Screening it.
That is a live ball.
Incompleted pass.
No, it's a live ball. That is a lateral, and it will be marked right there. He threw the ball backward, and it will be another big loss for Shelton.
And as soon as he touches his knee, then that's where the ball is
down. But the ball did hit the ground. It's going to be called a lateral and a live ball situation. Could not advance it, but the ball will be marked right at that spot. and they've got 3rd and a country mile.
Let's get it
Watch
on
here
replay.
where Keith White throws the football. He will throw it backward right here. See him throw the ball to Kalovich, and that is backward. The ball will hit the ground. Kalovich will cover it. Lateral play. Another big loss. Excellent job defensively for Ansonia as they bring up a 3rd and a lot.
Griffin and Dykes to the bottom of your screen. White on 3rd down, under a rush, and dragged down. A loose ball and a wild scramble, but the play is going to be ruled dead at the 45-yard line. Kevin Sharkey led the charge for Ansonia.
Kevin Sharkey defensively in this 3rd and 4th quarter has been a big part of the Ansonia team. Watch him come as White tries to get outside. Here comes Sharkey again. He will just, I'm sorry, that's 55. He will just manhandle him. Mangado throwing him to the ground and bringing up a 4th and 32, 33 yards. Shelton is going to kick.
Anderson back to punt the football away, standing at his 43. Under a rush, gets it off. And the Chargers are staying wisely away from that football as the ball rolls dead at the 15-yard line. While we have this opportunity, friends and colleagues here at Cable 10 Sports would like to extend our heartfelt sympathy to our director, Ron Carcutt, and his family on the passing of his father.
I want to remind you again that on October 22nd, it's Shelton Alumni Day.
Eddie, unless Ansonia comes up with a turnover here, Shelton is going to be out of this football game. There's not enough time for them with under 3:30 left to play in this game.
There's the pitch out. Hendricks near sideline, just holding on to the football and being pinned for a loss of 2 yards on the play. You've got to think that Ansonia at this time would just be comfortable to take off time off that clock. John Novak, the initial hit for Shelton. Gaels would like to get that football back after the punt, has put Ansonia in poor field position. We're under 3 minutes to go now. Ansonia leads it 14-0. Milutowski, the quarterback. Chargers go with an I formation. Douche is the fullback. Hendricks just holds on to the football, eating up the time back to the line of scrimmage to the 12-yard line, and immediately calling timeout are the Shelton Gaels.
Shelton is going to have to come with a punt block here on 4th down if they can hold them for another down. They need a turnover, they need an immediate score, and they need the ball back on an onside kick in order to get back in here. Key to this football game is you see Jack Hunt and Bobby Lisi. There's Jimmy Delavolpe, the offensive coordinator. The key is obviously the kickoff return by Fran Hendricks to start the second half, and then one good offensive drive by Ansonia as they drove the football down the field. An 82-yard drive, as you see there. The offensive coordinator for Shelton,
Tony Piccolo.
Piccolo standing there with the clock in the background, and that tells the story. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to go.
And
But that second drive, Eddie, was a key, really only offensive drive that Ansonia had, but enough to put them on ahead by 2 touchdowns here in this football game.
Jimmy Delavolpe was just in the Ansonia huddle. 3rd down coming up for Ansonia, just trying to hold on to the football, and as Buddy said, then punt the football away and get some better field position. I formation, 3rd and 12 for Ansonia. Pitch out. Hendricks is going to be dragged down. He does manage to get back to the line of scrimmage.
We saw just a moment ago there Jimmy Delavolpe on the phone talking upstairs to John Sponheimer, getting a play and then going back into the huddle with it. Shelton now must have a big turnover at this point. They need to block the punt. They're going to have to come after it. They will have to risk hitting the kicker as the clock, again, down under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. David D'Onofrio back to punt. And certainly the type of individual, if you were Jack Hunt, that you would want back there.
D'Onofrio standing at his 2-yard line. Gets the snap from center. Not the best one, but he line drives the punt out to Sapkowski. Sapkowski, midfield, does not get away from Johansson.
You see Jimmy Delavolpe directing traffic right there. He helps Sapkowski to the ground and then telling his players not to get a late hit type penalty, allowing Shelton the ball on about the 44, 45-yard line. But for Shelton, it's, I think, a little bit too late We're down around 2 minutes, and Shelton is going to be unable to get back into this game.
2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in this football game. And a reminder, at the conclusion of the football game, we'll be presenting our Fitzpatrick Player of the Game Award. Meanwhile, we've got some work to do here in this football game. First down, line of scrimmage, the 44 of Ansonia. White. Back to throw, check that. Ardini, RJ on the pass. Incomplete as he throws to Kalovich, and Pelotowski Marty on the defensive coverage for Ansonia.
A little bit of a roll again outside. Try to get the ball down the field. Marty Pelotowski right there as the ball is thrown with excellent coverage, and Kalovich unable to hold on.
So the Gaels have gone to the sophomore quarterback and a star of the future here at Shelton High School, 5'8", 165-pound sophomore quarterback. As we see that Keith White, who's been banged up in this football game, has taken off his pads, and he will not return in this football game, so it falls on the shoulders of RJ. Second down for the Gaels, 2nd and 10. RJ back to throw, fly pattern well over the intended receiver, Sipkaski. Nearest player to the pass was D'Onofrio for Ansonia.
We felt going in that the throwing ability of Shelton was going to determine the outcome of this football game. The Gaels have been unable really to threaten the perimeter, and that has allowed that larger Ansonia group of young men to contain that inside running game. They've done a good job taking the option away. The one time they got burnt on it, a penalty brought the touchdown back, but the inability really to threaten the perimeter has hurt Shelton all day.
RJ back to throw under a rush, eludes the rush, and an incompleted pass. Burkowski was all over Rondini. Pass goes incomplete, intended for Sipkaski.
Both Burkowski and Coughlin have been all over the quarterback this afternoon, along with Berlinger. They have had their way really inside when they have blitzed, and getting to the quarterback, he has had very little time to throw the football, and they're not, out of that wishbone, sending enough people into that secondary to create a problem, and they have just been unable to hit the receiver even when he's been open.
4th and 10 for Shelton at the 44 of Ansonia. This might be the last gasp for the Gaels. Rondini back to throw, has a receiver out there, and it's caught for the completed pass and the first down.
Ansonia sitting in that 3 deep. D'Onofrio got him as he caught the football, but Ansonia is just allowing them to throw under. They're not going to get beat deep. Excellent throw that time by Rondini right at the first down marker, but you see right there, D'Onofrio just step up, make the tackle. They'd be very happy to let him catch the football every 10 yards. They're not going to give up a big play. Excellent defense that time by the Chargers.
And the reception was Steve Anderson. And a first down for the Gaels. Time winding down here at Finn Stadium. Gaels taking to the air in the last moments of the game. Rondini built it, and it's picked off by Stalling. And Ansonia will take over the football. Rondini was hit. The ball just fluttered in the air, and Stalling picked the football off, and that ought to just about ice things here at Finn Stadium.
Excellent pressure again. Ball pops up. Linebacker for Ansonia. Montenegro got a piece of it. Stallings with the turnover. Ansonia with the victory.
Harvey Mungato with the big hit on Rondini. And the Chargers will just run things out here at Finn Stadium. Pelotowski just puts his knee to the turf. And the Chargers, with 47 seconds to go, will just run things out. They'll go to 2-0 on the season. Next game for Ansonia, they'll be playing their first home game of the season. It's going to be a league game for them against the Kennedy Eagles. Gaels will swing back in action. Their away game, they're going to be going up to Woodbridge and Sim Field. They're going to be facing the Amity Spartans. Our thanks as we wind things down to the coaching staffs of both teams, to the head coaches, Tony Branca of Shelton and Jack Hunt of Ansonia, and to the respective athletic directors, Sean Supp of Ansonia and Jim Bonanzo right here at Shelton High School. That's it. There's the scene in the center of the field. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. There it is. This game is history. Ansonia has held on and defeated the Shelton Gaels 14-0. Back with the presentation of the Fitzpatrick Player of the Game Award right after these messages. At Jarvis Field, Fran Hendricks returned an all-important punt by Shelton, 20 yards, set the ball up on the Shelton 40-yard line. From there, Ansonia scored a touchdown. They got the 2-point conversion. They went on to defeat the Shelton Gaels 8-7. Once again, it was Fran Hendricks with the big plays in the third quarter here at Finn Stadium. And Fran Hendricks is our Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game award winner. And let's call on Fran Hendricks right now. First of all, let's make the presentation, as Ansonia came away with a hard-fought 14-0 victory over the Gaels. Fran, congratulations. Here's your plaque. Okay, let's get together. All right, Fran?
And your T-shirt. A great job. Second time we've had you here. First question that's going to be asked of you is, did you know you were in the end zone when you ran 103 yards for the touchdown?
Yes, I did. And at first I didn't until I looked down. I was thinking about downing it until I looked up and I saw like there's big holes, so I just took out the end zone and led to the touchdown.
All right, now tell the people what that means, the fact that you were in the end zone.
It's illegal.
It's supposed to be an illegal play. Question is momentum, I think, which may be the difference, but an excellent 103 yards to start the second half, and then you come out in an offensive drive, you take a screen pass, and then you take a running play down to the 2-yard line. Were there any major adjustments made at halftime by the offensive line and the offensive team, since you only had one first down in that first half?
Well, just the offensive line, the center, and I think the guard or tackle, when they brought their men in, they just went down on them in the first half. I don't think they were doing that. And they just adjusted to that.
You found a few more holes in the second half than you did in the first half, huh?
Yeah. Well, after I scored a touchdown, it just, I think, took a lot out of them, out of their defense.
You guys come off, now you're 2-0, you go into a big part of the schedule, but this is certainly a big win for you guys. Again, last year you came through with a big play to win the football game. This year again, second time that you are Chrysler Plymouth Mazda Fitzpatrick Player of the Game, and a great job.
Thank you.
And, buddy, I think it's very significant. Fran, as a junior, did not talk too much to us when he was the Player of the Game. As a senior, he's doing quite well. That's going to just about do it from here at Finn Stadium in Shelton. Our final score was Ansonia 14 and Shelton nothing. On behalf of our Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game award winner, Fran Hendricks, and Buddy Chernovitz, Ed Clemens saying goodbye, everyone.
Hendricks did in his school's 63-6 romp over Kennedy on Saturday. He returned the opening kickoff 85 yards for a touchdown, 3 punts, 62, 41, and 57 yards for TDs, and added a 1-yard run and kicked 7 extra points. A 37-point day for Fran Hendricks. He has 9 TDs now in 3 games. This weekend, the 16th annual
Successfully to compete with the better teams. Thus far, Derby has parlayed the pass along with its traditional ground attack to fashion a spotless 5-0 Housatonic League record. The Big Red is led offensively by junior quarterback Chris Gradadoria, receivers Kevin Burns and Todd Hunter, and fullback Frank Pacheco. Ansonia's expectations for an undefeated season were shattered a couple of weeks ago with a 13-10 loss to Naugatuck Valley League rival Sacred Heart of Waterbury. Last week, the Chargers had a struggle to defeat lightly regarded Torrington 28-14. Ansonia pins its hopes on the breakaway ability of tailback Fran Hendricks and the all-around skills of Dave D'Onofrio. From Ryan Field in Derby, it's the traditional Ansonia Derby battle on Valley Cablevision's High School Football Game of the Week. Yet they have come along offensively. They've done the things they need to do to win the football game. Chris Gradadoria, quarterback, a fine junior quarterback, has led that Derby offense.
Certainly has. It's a credit to their JV program also, the underneath programs that send up quality football players that are ready to play. As we go into this football game, though, everyone is a veteran, and they're ready to play football.
Let's talk a little bit about the Derby Red Raider defense. The Raiders knew that at the beginning of the year they would have to use their defense to win football games early on, and they have not disappointed their fans. Of course, they're anchored by their standout linebacker, Mark Angeletti.
Throughout the state, Mark Angeletti has gotten some outstanding press. He's a quality football player. He anchors that defensive team, and with that individual there, they have been able to play a stellar defense all year long, and they're going to continue.
Now, Ansonia, no secret about the fact they have been struggling. A couple of weeks back, they lost to Sacred Heart. A less than inspiring effort against Torrington. They know that they have to improve the offensive blocking schemes to get some room for their backs.
They certainly do. They're very big up front. They've got some quality running backs, as we've seen all year, but they have to put it all together today. This is a good Derby defensive and offensive football team, and unless they can play a quality game against them, they're going to be in trouble.
We'll be back for the opening kickoff between Derby and Ansonia right after these messages. For the start of our traditional meeting between Ansonia and Derby, there in your picture is Joe Daddio Jr. accepting the game ball from head football coach Charlie DeCenzo here at Derby's Ryan Field, and this is in memory and honor of the late Joe Daddio, who served on the chain crew here for many, many years, and now a moment of silence.
Today, a referee will openly make a video. We have the moment of silence right now. Thank you very much.
Memory of silence, the moment of silence in behalf of the late Joe Daddio, who was a great part of the Derby High School football program. We'll be right back, right after this. Welcome back, everyone, as we get underway, the 71st renewal of this Derby Ansonia High School football game on our Cable 10 Sports Valley High School football game of the week. Across the way, the Ansonia Chargers 4-1 on the season, and of course the Derby Red Raiders with a spotless 5-0 mark. All of the games coming in Housatonic League action. Ansonia won the opening coin toss. They deferred. Check that. Derby won the opening coin toss, and they deferred their option for the second half, and Ansonia has elected to receive here in the first half. Steve Bizzato kicking off, back deep Hendricks along with Bell. That kickoff is coming to Fran Hendricks, number 23 for Ansonia. Hendricks tripped up on the far side of the field. Jeff Owens, number 30, Jason Palmieri, rather, 26 on the tackle for the Raiders. Let's get underway here. The first down play for the Ansonia Chargers, and we'll take a look quickly at that Ansonia offensive alignment. First down for Ansonia, just underway. It's this 71st renewal between Ansonia and Derby. And before we get started, we have some flags stopping the action before the first play from scrimmage. That gives us an opportunity to take a look at the Derby Red Raider defense. That's an encroachment penalty being marked off against the Raiders. So the Chargers have a 1st and 5 situation. The line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line. As we get underway here at Ryan Field, sun-drenched Ryan Field, thousands of people at this site. Fumble on the snap from center to Pelatowski. Angeletti on the tackle for the Raiders. Second and 5 coming up for Ansonia. Line of scrimmage remains the same, the 37-yard line. Two wide receivers either side of the field. D'Onofrio in the bottom part of your picture.
The I formation this time. Fiducio, and behind him is Hendricks.
Back to throw. That's Pelatowski. Hits D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio gets by a tackler, still on his feet as he gets to midfield. Dave D'Onofrio. Angeletti missed him. Finally, Steve Bizzato put the stop to D'Onofrio.
Pelatowski throws the out pattern. Beautiful throw to Dave D'Onofrio. Great time, and then D'Onofrio will break 2 tackles right here. There's one. Second one, he's down for big gain right at midfield. First pass and catch first down for the Ansonia Chargers.
First down for Ansonia. The fullback is Fiducia. The tailback is Fran Hendricks. And both sides, there's movement. And let's wait for the officials to unscramble things here.
Defensive lineman. Let's see if Dave was wrong.
While we have this opportunity, Buddy caught up with head football coach Jack Hunt, and he asked the Ansonia second-year coach what he had to do in his game plan to win this football game.
I think we have to control the ball both offensively and defensively and eliminate the turnovers on offense and cause some big turnovers on defense.
Coach, this is one of the biggest games of high school rivalry in the state of Connecticut. It goes back traditionally for a long period of time. As a football coach in Ansonia, what does it mean to you to participate in this game?
This is a big one. I mean, it's always, you know, you get beat by someone up the line or down the line. You don't have to see those people ever again, you know. You have to live with these people the rest of your life. I mean, the same with Derby and Ansonia. You know, you work side by side with them, and it's, you know, 30 years down the line from now, you'll remember the score of this game, these kids when they graduate, and hopefully they'll have good thoughts about it.
Welcome back, everyone. The penalty marked off 5 yards against the Chargers, setting up a 1st and 15. The line of scrimmage is the Ansonia 45, just underway from here at Ryan Field in Derby. Non-league game, but this big intra-valley matchup. Pitch out, that's Hendricks. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, and a flag is dropped on the play.
Right side of that Derby line is just sitting there as Hendricks taking the pitch. Fullback leading that time for Fiducia, but there's no place to go as it is closed off very well right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. The referees now are conferring on the penalty, talking to Derby, so it is going to be against Ansonia if they choose to take it. You see there the referee with the white hat, Steve Narachi, and he is explaining the options to the Derby co-captains or quad captains, and it will be against Derby, and it will be a big one.
Well, the Chargers now have the football down at the 41-yard line of the Raiders after the mark-off against the Raiders, and they have a first down and about a foot to go for a first down, so everything breaking Antonia's way early on in this football game.
Ansonia with the football out of the eye.
Give it to the fullback. Fiducia is going nowhere.
Might have snuck ahead enough for the first down. It'll be very close, but again, Derby inside doing a great job initially in this game against that rushing attack of the Ansonia Chargers. It will be very close.
They stopped it just about at the line of
And less than a yard again for that first down.
And they do not have that first down. That's been a problem of Ansonia all year long, moving the football on the ground. Unable to get any kind of a consistent running game going. They have to do something about that here against the Big Red. Fake scissors play to pass downfield. It is overthrown. Burkowski, the intended receiver, and Bozzato on the coverage for Derby.
Bozzato came from his safety position. Did a good job getting to the tight end as he came down. But the ball was overthrown. You'll see an inside scissors fake to hold the line. And then Pelotowski overthrowing his tight end down the field. Good job on coverage by Steve Bozzato. Brings up a big third and less than one.
There you see the crowd behind the press box area here at Ryan Field. The Ansonia Chargers go to the wishbone on the short down situation, just trying to get the first down, and D'Onofrio slides off for about a yard, and he appears to have the first down. D'Onofrio running out of the right halfback spot in the wishbone.
See the two lead backs coming through, and then D'Onofrio following. Hendricks and Fiducia with the block at the point of attack. They got just about the necessary yardage. You see Coach Hunt in the background. First down inside the 40-yard line.
That yardage has come grudgingly on the ground. As Ansonia is now a first down just inside the Raider 40. Ansonia likes to throw the football. Pelotowski near sideline. That is D'Onofrio going up for the football. Incompleted pass, and Chris Anderson on the excellent coverage for the Raiders.
D'Onofrio came down the sidelines. Pelotowski threw the ball short, and an excellent job on coverage by Chris Anderson. You see Keith Pelotowski throwing the ball. He has to pull up short, D'Onofrio does, and it allows Chris Anderson, a senior 5'10", 165-pounder, to make the defensive play. excellent job on coverage.
Second down for Ansonia. Let's call it the line of scrimmage, the 40-yard line of the Raiders. First quarter action. D'Onofrio in motion. Molotowski, a rush by the Raiders. Looks like a screen. It is. That is Hendricks with a football with some running room ahead of him. Fran Hendricks. Great screen. 30, 20. Still on his feet inside the 10-yard line, and he gets into the end zone. Ansonia touchdown.
Ansonia set that screen up very, very well. Hendricks, the only kid who had a shot at him was number 54, Mark Angeletti. After Angeletti missed him, he really had clear sailing. He almost fell at the 4.5, 5. You see Keith Pilotowski dropping back here. The rush by Derby and then Hendricks getting the ball. That's the only shot really to get him. Now the only question is whether he will stay on his feet as he does into the end zone. A 40-yard screen pass, Pilotowski to Fran Hendricks.
And Adam Hallett will attempt to kick the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So the Chargers have drawn first blood here at Derby's Ryan Field with 8:37 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Ansonia 7 and Derby nothing. We'll be right back.
I'm in pretty good
shape. Chernovitz, first time they have the football, aided by some key penalties against the Raiders, scored first.
Certainly hurt Derby, but the Chargers, one big play, a 40-yard screen pass, putting the ball in the end zone very early here in the first quarter, and Derby now will have to come back and establish an offensive pattern to keep themselves in this football game.
Chris Anderson on Chris Kinnebrew's kickoff return, and Anderson is popped. I mean, he is popped by the kicker, Chris Kinnebrew.
Kinnebrew is going to come down and tattoo right about in here. Number 40 is going to get him right there, and that is a solid tackle right around the 33, 34-yard line.
24-yard line, that is the line of scrimmage. The Raiders' first crack on offense as the give to Pacheco, finding some good room off the left side. Frank Pacheco, the Raider fullback. Delgado finally on the stop for Ansonia, but not before Pacheco picks up 9 yards. Woody had a chance earlier to talk with Coach DeCenzo, and he asked Coach DeCenzo if he was going to alter his game plan in view of Ansonia's size up front.
We've altered our blocking patterns a little bit. Those three big kids in the middle certainly can dominate you up front. We've had to change our blocking schemes a little bit. We've come in with a little different wrinkle on offense, hopefully to offset some of that. But, you know, buddy, when you get to a game like this, you still have to dance with the lady that you came with, you know, and you can't change everything in a week, you know, so you have to give Jack and his guys credit. You know, they have a good front, and we're just going to have to try to block them best we can.
Coach, there's an awful lot surrounding this football game. Madison Square Garden is doing a big feature for it. To you, what does it mean being the Derby football coach participating in this game?
Oh, but it's been an honor. I mean, to be here as the coach of Derby the last few years, and, you know, this game, of course, sort of epitomizes to me high school football. But I think as far as being the coach, and it's more or less bringing the kids up in the tradition of the town and, you know, showing them that hard work and dedication brings good things, and the friendships that come out of this game are just unbelievable. Jack Hunt and I played against each other, and we're best of buddies. And you know, all the guys from Ansonia, I coached against Bobby Lisi and Jimmy Dell. You know, I played against Jimmy Dell. You know, we're good friends. I mean, for 3 hours we won't be. After that, we're buddies, and that's the way it should be.
Welcome back, everyone. A second down carry for the Raiders going out of the schoolhouse backfield. Looks like a first down for the Raiders. John Sherwin, the ball carrier for the Raiders, and it is the Derby Red Raider first down. Let's take a look now, speaking about the Derby offense, let's take a look at that offensive set. Line of scrimmage is the 34-yard line. First down for the Raiders. Split back. Scrodadori wants to put it up on first down as a receiver. The near sidelines right in front of us. Incomplete. That was Kevin Burns, quad captain Burns, the intended receiver. Kevin Sharkey defending for Ansonia.
Just trying to throw a fade route. Gradadoria trying to get the ball down to Burns. Excellent coverage by number 25, Kevin Sharkey. Last week, Derby had great success against Lyman Hall, just running that fade pattern. but they were playing 2 deep. This week, Ansonia in the 3 deep. It'll make a difference. That route will not be there as it was last week for them.
Second down for the Raiders at their 34. Pacheco again for some good yardage off the left side behind the surge of that offensive line. Pacheco crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Pacheco is coming off. You see the motion, and then a good trap block turnout right there at the hole allows Pacheco to get about 8 yards on that carry, bringing up a 3rd and short for Derby on about the 41-yard line.
Third down for the Raiders. Wishbone. And that play ain't going too much, ain't going too far at all, to use the vernacular. That was Todd Hunter running out of that wishbone offense and stopped short of the yardage needed for the first down. And quickly, we'll take a look at that Ansonia defense.
4th and 2 from the 42. That's going to bring up the punt.
So 4th down, about 1.5 yards for the Raiders. And the punter is Ray Silvernail.
30-yard line, Silverdale.
Raiders having to kick the football away and unable to move the football in their first possession here at Ryan Field. And the kick rolls dead for Ansonia at about the 34-yard line. So the Chargers' second crack at the football. Ansonia leads it by a score of 7-0. We're in the first quarter of play.
Very tough to pick up the yard markers here because of the rain yesterday and Friday night. The initial possession for Derby, establishing a first down, but certainly not getting field position as they are forced to turn the ball over right around the 34-yard line. Ansonia being able to move the ball very well in their initial possession of the game.
Line of scrimmage is the 34, as Buddy mentioned. With the football, Fran Hendricks. Hendricks about 6 to 7 off the left side before he's stopped by Todd Hunter.
Scissors play to Hendricks. See the reverse and inside handoff, trap block right at the point of attack for Ansonia and freeing him up for about 7 yards. This will force the linebackers now to stay home and to play honestly, and that's one thing that Ansonia is concerned about, especially with Angeletti, trying to hold him. The scissors of play that can certainly make a difference.
Second and short, a loose football and a scramble for the football. Maybe Ansonia might have covered it. Pelotonski might have fallen on the football. There was not a mesh between the quarterback and the running back.
The ball was down low as he brought the ball. Watch the ball. It's not in his stomach as he swings it around. He does not have it. He actually threw it to Keith Hendricks. Never had possession of the football. And luckily, Pelotonski is able to cover his own mistake. Brings up a 3rd and about 5 yards, right around the 40-yard line, 39-40-yard line.
Ansonia goes to split backs, 2 wide receivers to the top part of your picture. And Pelotonski back to throw. Is it picked off or incomplete? Incomplete. The defender was Steve Bozzato, and for a moment there I thought he picked it off.
Ball was thrown right at Bozzato, whether D'Onofrio did not turn in enough. It's a turn-in route to D'Onofrio, and Bozzato is right there, does not hold on to it, but he had a better shot at making the catch than the receiver for Ansonia, Dave D'Onofrio. Brings up a 4th down.
And speaking about Dave D'Onofrio, the all-purpose player for Ansonia, does all the punting for the Chargers in 1988, and he gets off a great punt. Chris Anderson on the other end, and Anderson is taken down at the 20-yard line. Let's see who led that surge for Ansonia. Number 15 and quad captain Marty Pelotonski.
Pelotonski was right there. An excellent job on coverage. You'll see the catch being made right here, and then Pelotonski with the hit. No gain. Excellent job holding on to the football for Derby, preventing that turnover by Chris Anderson.
So the Raiders get their second crack with the football. Ansonia leads at 7-0 in the first quarter of play. Cable 10 Sports High School Football Game of the Week. John Sherwood trying to get outside and taking him down, wrestling him down, and having some things to say. Kevin Sharkey from that secondary.
Derby was able to get outside, and Sharkey did an excellent job on contain. You see right here, breaking to the outside for Derby, number 21, John Sherman, and Pelotonski comes in with the tackle from his outside cornerback position.
Second down for the Raiders, 2nd and 5. Back to throw as Gradadori sets up over the middle, has a receiver out there. It is caught for the first down at about the 37-yard line. Todd Hunter on the reception.
Coming across with the waggle or bootleg route, and excellent throw by Chris Gradadori to Todd Hunter. We have seen that for a number of years, that Derby bootleg, and excellent throw catch for the Red Raiders.
So the first down for the Derby Red Raiders. Taking the football, that's Pacheco trying to find some running room off the left side, unable to do it. Plugging up the play from the middle guard position is Jason Lowley. There's a surprise early, buddy. Chris Kinnebrew was given as the nose guard, and Lowley has seen most of the action there so far.
Good job initially by number 76, Mike
Diudo,
who initially stopped that, allowing the linebackers to get into it.
Second down for the Raiders. Todd Hunter is in motion, and there's a short out. It's caught by Todd Hunter, and a Derby Red Raider first down at the 40-yard line. Check that. Eddie Piccirillo on the reception. Bob Berlinger finally dragged him down.
Little just pitch pattern, about 5 to 6 yards. Gradadori is throwing the ball outside. Excellent catch by Piccirillo, and then he breaks the initial tackle and gets down around the 40-yard line of the Ansonia Chargers. Excellent throw catch for Derby.
So Derby showing the pass often here early, and they have thrown well all year long. Chris Gradadori has a receiver out there. It is broken up, incomplete, almost intercepted by Zell. The intended receiver was Todd Hunter.
Came with the bootleg again. You see Gradadori going to the outside and then just throwing down the field, looking again for Hunter, all broken up by the Ansonia secondary.
One thing the coach Hunt talked to me about during the week, buddy, was the fact that his defensive line had to be getting the pressure on Gradadori to give his secondary a chance to pick off some passes. Second down play to Hunter in motion. Gradadori on the square out to Hunter. Hunter has the football, trying to find some running room. Dragged down finally after a short pickup.
And we're going to get a flag in there also that is going to tack on to the initial play as Hunter getting up slowly. Be a personal foul. It's going to be a late hit against the Chargers, and that will bring to them a first down. As you see the turnout route, again, it's throwing right into your living room here as Hunter makes the catch and then turns up. First hit by Pelotowski here. He'll break that and then dragged down by Sharkey. The late hit will come right there by number, looks like, well, I don't want to say because I'm not sure, but one of the Ansonia players as down on the field, still being attended to now by the Derby staff, is number 81, Todd Hunter.
And that would be a great concern to the Derby staff because Todd Hunter is a two-way performer for the Raiders. There he is in your picture. In obvious pain. There's head football coach Charlie DeCenzo. When we resume play here, the Raiders will have it deep in Ansonia territory as a result of that personal foul against the Chargers. And the Raiders will have it exactly at the Ansonia 20-yard line.
Excellent drive by the Derby Red Raiders. They have been able to throw the ball very well in this drive. Piccirillo hitting Gradadori hitting Piccirillo and Hunter, being able to move the football down the field as getting up now very slowly with a very tender, what looks like left knee, is Todd Hunter being helped to the sidelines, and from the way he's being helped off, he probably will not be playing in this football game today.
As I cannot stress enough, buddy, the fact that will be a major blow against the Raiders because he's an outstanding outside linebacker defensively, and of course he's done the job all year long in that flaker spot for the Raiders. Let's see who checks in for Todd Hunter. It is Steve Bazzato now goes in motion on the first down play for the Raiders. That's Pacheco being bear hugged by Stallings as Pacheco gets about one on the play. Back in for Ansonia now. I see number 40. There's big Chris Kinnebrew.
Watch Ramondo Stallings bear hug him, as Eddie said, right there, and just pull him to the ground. Pacheco picking up a yard, maybe a yard and a half in the initial first down carry.
Second down for the Raiders, 2nd and 9 from the Ansonia 19-yard line. Grutt wants to put it up on second down. As a receiver out there, up for grabs. It is knocked down, incomplete. Making the play is Kevin Sharkey. The intended receiver was Kevin Burns at the goal line.
Second time they tried that fade route again. Sharkey, as he did the first time, with excellent defensive position from his cornerback spot, makes the play, almost comes up with the interception, preventing Chris Burns from the reception, brings up a big third down on around the 19-yard line for the Derby Red Raiders. As you see, Kevin Sharkey there, a sophomore, 6 foot, 168-pounder.
Grutt back to throw on third down. Throwing, has a receiver out there, incomplete as he overthrows Burns in the end zone.
Burns was wide open, and the Gratador, as he went to his right here in the bootleg, throwing on the run, does not come to a stop and overthrows him. Ball takes off and sails a little bit. As you see, Burns trying to get back to it, but he was wide open. And it brings up a 4th and 9 for the Red Raiders. Whether they are going to go for it, it looks as they are. They're not going to bring in that field goal unit.
Well, Steve Bazzato has had to check in for Todd Hunter. Is the field goal kicker for the Raiders. That's Bazzato going in motion on 4th and 9 from the 19. Gratadori has a receiver out there, and it's caught. And I believe the Raiders have the first down inside the 10-yard line. Chris Anderson before he's finally taken down by Berlinger.
Gratadoria threw a bullet. Chris Anderson right there. He was well covered, but watch now Gratadoria step right up and throw a bullet. With excellent coverage. Matter of fact, the Ansonia Charger was hanging all over the Derby receiver.
Chris
Anderson, but the catch was made, and it's down inside that 10-yard line, 1st and goal. Excellent throw catch. 1st
and goal for the Raiders. Time running out here in the first quarter. Split backs for the Raiders. Grutt wants to put it up again on 1st down. Looking at passes deflected, batted down by either Berlinger or Flaherty.
Berlinger with an excellent job on contain that time. Gratadoria will get outside, and then Berlinger will come with good pressure, getting his hands up. Again, Gratadoria throwing, going away from his receiver. Ball is batted down, bringing up a big 2nd down for the Derby Red Raiders on a real long, outstanding drive that has eaten up most of this remaining first quarter here at Ryan Field.
Minute and a half left to go here in the first quarter. Ansonia leads at 7-0. The Derby knocking on the door. Grutt wants to throw on 2nd down. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Piccirillo in the end zone.
Sharkey again right there on coverage. Tried to run a post pattern. Gratadoria back, sits in the pocket, and then throws the post route. But watch Sharkey come right over the back, making an outstanding defensive play. His 3rd outstanding defensive play in the corner against the pass, and he's had a number against the run already today in this football game.
The line of scrimmage is the 7-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up again for the Raiders. There you see Bazzato in motion. Gratadoria under a rush and being brought down. The middle of that Ansonia defense led by Flaherty. No Flaherty, 6 foot, 190-pound junior defensive tackle.
Flaherty came through almost unblocked. Grabbed Gratadoria, and Gratadoria has no chance. You'll see the linebacker came on a stunt. The guard never picked him up, and it brings up a big 4th and goal for the Red Raiders, and they are backed up at about the 20-yard line.
So a 4th and goal for the Raiders, but he mentioned the football at the Ansonia 20. You've got to bet that Gratadoria is going to be putting it up into the end zone. 4th and goal.
Screen.
A screen to the near side. Rolling with the football and drags out of bounds on the near side to Gratadoria. And Ansonia takes over on down.
They were inside the 10, and Ansonia's going to take over at the 30. A great defensive series for the Chargers in a goal line stand. They tried to run the screen right here, and Gratadoria does what he has to do because the screen was covered. He comes toward it, trying to break someone free, but Ansonia does a great job in containing tackle Dave Lenders, and the ball is back close to the 30-yard line where Ansonia will begin their offensive series. 38 seconds left to go here in this first quarter of football. A great defensive series for the Chargers.
First down for Ansonia. I formation. That's D'Onofrio going in motion. The quarterback